Hello, everybody! That was creepy.
I know, what are you doing?
I don't know. Hey, welcome to Real Nerds. I'm Ryan Frost. Sitting with me is Brad.
Hi, guys.
Howdy ho. How's her?
And gals, maybe.
Yeah, Laura's sitting next to us, my beautiful wife, but she just chose not to take part in our awesome podcast, which is really
She doesn't
hurtful.
support you, and that's...
No, but I think she just farted, so maybe the mics picked that up. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, so before we get into the movie of the month, the movie of the week, which is Cars 2. Did you see any DVDs this week, Brad? Did you watch anything that you haven't watched, or what was your DVD choice of the week?
DVD choice of the week is I've actually had this DVD from Netflix for about 3 weeks, and I finally just got around to watching it. I watched She's Out of My League last night.
Yeah, what'd you think?
It was all right. It was better than I expected.
Yeah, it's all right. It's...
I still feel like it's highly unlikely that those two would end up together. But
what are you talking about?
She was really forgiving.
Yeah.
Anyway, for those of you who don't know, She's Out of My League is a movie that I thought came out last year, but actually it came out in 2008.
2008?
That's what the credits said. Copyright 2008.
I'm pretty sure I saw that with Laura.
I know. Maybe it
was filmed in 2008,
and they just didn't release it for years.
For a year.
But anyway, it's about this lanky, nerdy guy, loser who works for TSA and
who plays this character?
That guy from a bunch of comedy movies.
Jay Burkhall? I forget how to pronounce his last name.
We should really do research on our movie podcast. But anyway,
JB.
Yeah, he's kind of a wimpy guy, and he's surrounded by people who make him feel like a loser constantly. And finally, this supposedly perfect girl walks into his life, and he has a taste of a different side of dating for once, and eventually his own self-doubt and lack of confidence sabotages his ability to date her, and as well as her high expectations for the type of guy she should be dating, because the people around her, I think, she should be dating,
Footlong. That's
Hal Jordan types.
That's like part of the movie. I remember that dude's nickname on his jet was Footlong, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's alluding to the size of his wiener.
Yeah, the one thing I did really enjoy about the movie was just the I guess the R-rated banter. I don't know if the DVD I got was, because it was really like R-rated. It was a PG-13 movie as far as I know, but they dropped the F-bomb a ton of times, so I think the DVD is unrated. Just like all the dirty banter that they have and gross out humor was kind of up there for what I like out of R-rated comedies. But as far as the plot of a geeky guy dating a super hot girl, it's still far-fetched for me.
I'm married to one, so
I guess that story does come out.
Yeah, that's right. I saw it once in the theaters with Laura 2 years ago, so I don't really remember it. I just remember, isn't his old fiance dating like his brother or something, or
his brother's friend or something,
and they live with them and the family loves them? I only remember that part.
Yeah,
and she gets all jealous when that other girl shows up to their house.
Yeah, and then later on,
I just remember his brother's picking on him. I always thought that was pretty funny too.
Yeah, the hockey thing, that was hilarious.
Yeah,
like what was it, a slapshot regatta or something?
Well, if he skated down the bench and hit people in the head with his stick, then that'd be totally slapshot. So,
but it was I'm glad it's out on DVD.
Yeah, and you got it on Netflix, so it's I paid $20 to see it in the theaters.
I'd probably watch it again just to try to remember his friends had some funny lines in it.
Yeah, it's HUD from Cloverfield.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I don't remember that movie too well.
You don't remember Cloverfield?
I remember going to see it.
You should watch it again. That movie is awesome.
Yeah, I guess.
You guess. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
It was entertaining for what it was.
Unbelievable. We're gonna get more hate mail.
It's like a Saw 2, where you just don't care about the characters because they're so stupid. Like, oh yeah, let's go back for her, even though it's obvious she's probably okay. That's all I remember.
She wasn't okay. She had a piece of rebar stuck in her leg, or was it her chest? Oh, it was her shoulder. That's right.
Yeah, I barely remember it, so I can't talk. I just remember being like, that's all right.
So, Lori, did you like Cloverfield? She just shrugs. I think she's afraid to hear her voice on this.
She's afraid of upstaging you on your own show. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
She wants to keep the peace in this marriage.
She better. She's already heading for a divorce. I don't even know why. I know why. It's because she made me turn down Mortal Kombat while I was playing it today.
What?
Yeah, she's like...
That's a sin.
You play this too loud. All I hear is... Yeah. And I said, yeah, and you also hear fatality. Come on. This chick, man. This chick.
I don't know.
But you know what? She is really cool.
Not all of us can have really cool girlfriends and wives.
Well, she is cool because she is reading World War Z right now from my personal book collection. And what books have I read from hers? 0. Because I don't want to read about some woman's struggle to make it in the real world.
Hey-o.
That's all her books, I swear.
Hey, you watched the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and that's about women's independence.
It is, and I do love strong women, and the Mary Tyler Moore Show is badass. Because I love me some Laura Petrie. Oh wait, not Laura Petrie. I'm just kidding. What's her last name in that? It's Laura what?
Oh my god, I can't believe I don't know this.
It starts with an M? Oh, we're worthless.
Laura, oh Jesus.
Mater? No.
You're thinking Meeker. That's her.
Meeker. Yeah, that's her
name.
maiden name in
Dick Van
Dyke Show.
Oh God.
Fail. We both fail.
We both failed.
Because we love Mary Tyler Moore.
I know.
I remember when we were young and those shows came out on DVD and we would just dream about Mary Tyler Moore.
Oh, Mary Richards.
Mary Richards.
Because you're saying Laura is throwing me off.
Yeah.
Anyway, sidetrack.
Yeah.
What DVDs have you been watching, Ryan?
This week, I actually didn't watch too many. I watched Hot Fuzz, though.
A good one.
A good one. I was... no, that was last week. I already talked about Drive Angry.
Yeah.
A
lot of the time talking about Drive Angry last
Drive
week.
Angry through a mediocre film. No, a Hot Fuzz, Laura works at night, so I came home and I felt like watching The Walking Dead with commentary. But I found out, I didn't even realize when I put in the Blu-ray, there's no commentary on The Walking Dead. And I thought there'd be like a commentary on the pilot on how difficult it was to make such a cinematic show for cable. And I always wondered with that how hard it was to push the boundaries, because I don't know if you've seen the show.
I haven't yet. I've been waiting to rent it on Blu-ray.
The thing that I always worried about, I mean, I did watch the first episode anyways because I put it in. I'm like, yeah, whatever, this episode's great. When I watched it on TV, I always wondered how far, because you can read interviews with the people who make the show as much as possible, and they said, oh, we really pushed the envelope for, a network TV show, even though AMC kind of gets away with a little more because it's on cable. And you read that and you say, I don't know about that. What could they possibly show on a show? And you're really worried because it's a zombie movie or zombie show, and you always expect in zombie shows people to be ripped open and guts everywhere. So the opening scene in The Walking Dead, the TV show, actually takes place in an unspecified time, sometime between when he's leaving his town and trying to get to Atlanta. And it just starts off, and he pulls up in a cop car, and as the camera pans down through the crane, you see overturned cars and just disaster all around. But there's nothing around, and so he goes down, and his name's Rick, and he's looking just for gas for his police car, and you hear this little shuffle, and it's this little girl walking away from him, and when the little girl turns around, she's obviously a zombie, and she's carrying like a little teddy bear, and half her face is chewed off, and when she realizes that he's there, she starts charging him, and he pulls out his gun, and he pulls the trigger, and they show the gunshot blow head off of a little girl. I'm like, okay, I guess we know what kind of show this is going to be.
Has some balls.
The show has some balls, and throughout the first episode, there's little parts of it that I just love. My favorite shot is a really subtle one, and this is how well I think the series and the show was thought out, is Rick sits down on these ledges, because he wakes up, it's a lot like 28 Days Later, is where the inspiration came. He's a cop who goes into a coma, he wakes up, and the dead have already taken over. A lot like, but 28 Days Later is not for everybody listening out there, 28 Days Later is not a zombie film. I'm just going to say that right now. The people do not die and come back to life. They become infected with a disease. So they're infected. They're not zombies. Anyways, so...
Whoa. Careful. Don't blow your steam there, Ryan.
No, that just drives me nuts. I mean, it has similarities.
Oh my God, he's about to hit me. He's so angry.
It has. I'm going to go way off track here. It has similarities to zombie movies, but it's not a zombie movie. Because in order to be a zombie, you have to die and come back to life. I mean, that's just the definition of a zombie. And
whatever, nerd.
It's called Real Nerds, Brad. So in 28 Days Later, it's a virus that infects people that doesn't kill them. It just makes them angry and want to kill people. Anyways, back to The Walking Dead. Where was I at with The Walking Dead? I don't remember. Oh, he wakes up, and my favorite shot is he goes back to his house, and his wife and child aren't there, and he's panicking. So he goes out and he sits out down like on his porch. I don't know if it's a porch, maybe his front yard, but it's on steps. And he still has no idea what's going on. He just knows that there's weird-looking people around, and I mean, it looks like everybody's died, basically. And he's sitting down, and the camera is focused on him, and in the distance, it's fuzzy. It's unfocused on a zombie who's just staggering along. And then when Rick calls to the zombie, because he doesn't know he's a zombie, obviously, he says, "Excuse me," the zombie's movements change dramatically. Like, he recognizes that he should eat this guy, and it's one of my favorite shots ever because it's so subtle, and the zombie's movements are so great, and he just comes right for him. And so, yeah, so I watched the first episode of The Walking Dead again because I wanted to hear commentary on it, but it didn't have any. But I guess it really didn't need it, too, because the Blu-ray has a special feature where they have a behind-the-scenes of every episode. So they have about 10 to 15 minutes of them talking about every episode, so I guess you really don't need it. But then I watched Hot Fuzz because I was trying to find something cool to watch, and I love that movie. I love Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. One. And I still get a kick out of it every time when he drop kicks that old lady right in the face. I laugh every time.
Nothing like beating up of the elderly.
Even though I know it's coming. And, just watching the movie again, you just laugh at some parts, when he's telling them about how he said they're in the grocery store and they're all shooting, and he says, "Did you say anything cool, like chill out?" He said, "No, earlier I said playtime's over when I held up the play monkey." And Nick Frost goes, "You are off the fucking chain." I love that part. Just that whole movie's cool because it's like an homage to all those 80s action movies and some 90s ones, I guess, Bad Boys 2.
And with Edgar Wright movies, like, they're so visually rich. Like,
oh, yeah. Even, the opening, I love the opening moments of that movie, too, where Simon Pegg's character, Nick Angel, is walking towards the camera, and it's just like he's so determined, and then it just goes into that montage of him being kick-ass, and yeah, it's cool. And so, yeah, I enjoyed that movie. And that's really I watched this week. I've been fucking busy with work. It sucks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But you know what I love? I love Qdoba.
Brought to you by Qdoba Burritos.
I don't work at Qdoba, but I love Qdoba. I'm just saying that, so if they ever hear this, they can't pin it on me.
Oh, right. There's no, work nepotism going on here.
Absolutely not.
So yeah, the right word.
I watched classics. I didn't read anything new. I didn't see anything new. Sometimes I feel like watching my old ones. I'm getting really close to. I'll probably sometime this week I'll watch Army of Darkness. I haven't watched it in a while.
Oh shoot! I forgot to tell you I watched Jackass 3.5.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
Straight to DVD. I thought I bought it. It was super cheap at Target. I bought it thinking it was the third movie with stuff that they left out the DVD to double dip. And it's a totally its own separate thing.
Yeah, it's just like Jackass 2.5.
I thought 2. Yeah, I guess its own documentary.
Yeah.
It was insanely entertaining.
Nice.
And unfortunately, we have to acknowledge the passing of a Jackass great this week.
Yeah, Ryan Dunn. Don't drink and drive, guys.
Yep.
Happens every time. And nobody's invincible, even guys who stick fireworks up their ass and have them shoot.
Definitely the ballsiest Jackass stunt ever.
Yeah.
Someone put it.
Yeah. It sucks because I always liked Ryan Dunn in the...
Yeah, he always seemed like the most,
sane one?
Calm and collected one.
I had a talk about this. I still think, even though Knoxville is the most recognizable one, I think he might be the most stable one because I know he has a couple daughters and he has a wife. or maybe got divorced recently. I don't
I don't
remember.
think Ryan Dunn was married, so he was still probably.
I actually think he was because
Oh, I don't know.
Johnny Knoxville texted that I lost my brother. My heart goes out to his beloved Angie. So my guess would be his wife or maybe his girlfriend.
Yeah. But yeah, watching the DVD, it's like, unlike the movies, the DVD has these interstitials between the gags. It's kind of like 2.5 where they're kind of doing like an interview type thing where they preface the gag and stuff or just talk about the history of what they did and stuff. And there's Ryan Dunn and Bam Margera having like this clever banter back and forth, like in London or something. Yeah, it's just kind of sad. Like, I watched that DVD the night before.
Yeah, it's funny because it's not funny. I mean,
but yeah,
it's ironic that you liked Jackass that night, and I was like, huh.
Oh yeah, like I was as I was watching it too, because I was, like 3, they were making comments about, we've been doing this for so long, and it's something special, and there's something about the camaraderie of these guys, and you think like Steve-O is probably the gnarliest one. Like, if anyone's gonna get picked off first because of a stupid gag or with his drug and alcoholism.
No way, dude.
But
that's my Steve-O. I hope everybody appreciated that.
But Adam made a good point. Like, he's the cockroach of the group. He'll probably be he's so gnarly. He'll probably be the last to go. But yeah, I was thinking, like, at the end of the DVD, just amazed and just enjoying the fact that these guys have made it, doing all this stupid shit together. They made it this far, and then of course the next morning find out that Ryan Dunn bites it in a fiery car crash.
Yeah, like a really bad one.
I guess people were telling me the report was that he was unrecognizable except for his tattoos.
Yep.
Yeah, it's messed up, and he took a buddy with him. So
yeah, that sucks.
But anyway, yeah, Jackass 3.5 worth, not just a DVD double dip, an actual worthy addition to the Jackass gag.
Yeah, I watched Jackass 2.5 like for the first time just a couple weeks ago, and I was laughing my ass off when Bam Margera stuck a butt plug up his butt to fly a kite, and he was like crying because it hurt so bad. I was laughing so hard. Oh, those guys' pain is my gain.
I'm trying to remember. There was like they have no, never mind. They have like the slow motion, like put the it's like Mentos. You put them in the Coke, like the 2-liter bottle, shake it up, and
the Diet Coke, and it shoots.
Yeah,
I saw that at MythBusters.
Yeah, they do a whole like sealed off room of that. They're just like throwing these, and they do it with that slow mo cam or a high speed camera. So you just see like the bottle coming down, like exploding, and then firing it at like other guys, like across their making holes in the wall.
I always wonder how they come up with that stuff, and I like in Jackass 2 where they drew the stick figures of Wee Man bungee jumping off Preston.
There's like another gag where Steve-O gets horribly burned.
Really?
Because they're shooting this warehouse, and the owner didn't want it's a fire gag. The owner didn't want the warehouse concrete floors to crack because of the heat. Mm-hmm. So he had them, of all things, put down like metal plates. So they put the fire on the metal plates, and obviously the metal's going to heat up.
Oh, yeah.
Steve-O doesn't do the gag right. He has like 3rd-degree burns on the side of his body.
Ow, dude.
Yeah.
That's my Steve-O.
And Knoxville gets like his hand sliced open.
Those guys are...
Because of some stupid just like running into a tree with a pole gag. Yeah, some good stuff in there.
Funny thing I did watch, though, that wasn't on DVD. If you can watch Jon Stewart on Fox News Sunday, it's really funny.
Oh, yeah?
Because, obviously, I don't know why Fox News puts him on their programs, because all he does is, tear him apart. Actually, he's pretty cool on it, but I think he's the reason that Crossfire got canceled.
I'm pretty sure, yes. That's exactly it.
And it was really funny when he was on Crossfire. Just Google Jon Stewart on Fox, and you'll laugh.
Whatever, those debate shows should all go away.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Completely pointless. I disagree. I'm going to yell louder. I'm going to talk over you until we go to commercial. That's basically what those shows are.
Totally. Unnecessary.
Yep.
So
not entertaining.
We did a little movie news with the passing of Ryan Dunn. I also read today that Peter Falk passed away.
That's true, yep.
Good old Columbo. I never watched those shows. My grandma used to love them.
Old Man and Princess Bride.
Yep. My grandma always just watched Columbo. I've never watched an episode. I mean, I watch old stuff like Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore and stuff like that, but I've never watched an episode of Columbo.
Yeah, me either.
Was that just Columbo's just TV movies a lot, wasn't it? Or was it an actual show?
I think it was an actual show.
Was it like a show and then it became like TV movies?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's how Dick Van Dyke's show Diagnosis Murder started, except it was movies and then it became a show for 10 years. You know that show was on TV for 10 years?
Where's that on DVD?
Oh, I know it's out because I see it all the time at Barnes & Noble, but like, it looks like it's not like very nicely put together. So I wonder if like the transfer will look any good. But I heard the show is really good. It has to be if it's on for 10 years. The other new movie news that I have heard this week is Tobey Maguire is caught up in a web of a lawsuit.
I heard the line for this, but I didn't read any more information on it.
It was actually kind of... I didn't know you could sue for people for this, but evidently Tobey Maguire and some other celebrities, obviously not as big as Tobey Maguire, or they would have said something, had a high-stakes poker tournament.
Was it Ben Affleck and Leonardo DiCaprio involved in it?
They should be. I don't know, maybe.
That's what I heard.
I only heard Tobey Maguire, but anyways, it's a high-stakes poker game. And
how high are the stakes, Ryan?
Millions of dollars, I guess. I have no idea.
I thought lives were at stake. Okay, keep going.
Anyways, so he took all this money from this one guy who did a Ponzi scheme on other individuals, and they wired money to Tobey Maguire's account, which was $311,000 that he won from this guy. So the people that were Ponzi schemed by the guy who lost money to Tobey Maguire and wired it to him are suing Tobey Maguire for stolen money from them. Which I didn't know you could sue somebody money because...
So if you go to Vegas, you sit down at the blackjack table and the house takes your money, you can sue them?
I don't know how it works, but evidently Tobey Maguire is quite the poker player. But I didn't know he played poker. I knew he was on those celebrity poker tournament things that I've never watched, but I know he's on them. And so, yeah. So the CNN were trying to be clever with Spider-Man actor caught in a web of lawsuits.
Wow, what a great pun.
Yeah, I know.
They've never done that before.
Totally.
So
yeah,
why do they have the right to sue him?
I don't know, because the money was stolen from them by this guy who lost it, and he used the money he stole from these people to pay Tobey Maguire, evidently. I don't know where you get the evidence for that, but...
So shouldn't they just be suing that guy?
I don't know. No, because they gave the money to Tobey Maguire, $311,000.
Huh.
Yeah.
Guess I need to study law.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that, but evidently you can. So maybe someone should sue Vegas because basically the same thing.
Hey, you want to play some poker later?
Hey, you know what you should do? You should. I'll say you stole $48 from me, and then bet it in Vegas, and I'll sue Vegas for a lot more money for punitive and and mental anguish because my friend took $40 from me and lost it in Vegas.
Sweet.
And Laura told me a bit of news. They're making another Mortal Kombat movie. Where'd you read that, honey?
Heard it in the kitchen at work.
Oh, she heard it at the kitchen and work. So that's bullshit. It's probably the Mortal Kombat web series that came out. Which you should check out. It's pretty good. They're really short, though. I think that's the only bummer about them. They're like 10 minutes long, but 2 minutes of it is a recap from the week before. So you're really only watching like 8 minutes, and so they feel really truncated. And
I don't know what it is about me, but I hate watching like movies and TV like through the internet. Like I'll watch a YouTube, 2 or 3 minute clip. But yeah, watching like a whole 30-minute or hour plus thing streaming through the internet.
No, I think that's why they broke them up to like 10 minutes each week.
Oh, so they're kind of short.
Yeah, they're really short. And I don't like...
Still 10 minutes just seems...
Well, the thing I don't like watching about on the internet too is it's always choppy. You really don't get the full, I don't know what you'd call it, I guess, feel of the movie and the resolution, yeah. So Laura heard that from her people at work. I thought it was real news, but evidently Laura's full of shit.
It's just hearsay. Gossip.
It's just hearsay and gossip.
We're not a gossip rag here.
Yeah. So
we know our facts, and we should actually probably start citing where we get our movie news from, because we're obviously not connected directly.
The movie news that I got, which one did I say? Oh, the Tobey Maguire. I saw that on CNN, and then I read it on CNN.com. So thanks, CNN.com informed me that Tobey Maguire. Do you have any movie news that you've read?
Nah.
That you think's interesting?
I'm going to say no. I read some stuff today on Slash Film, but nothing that really stuck with me.
Yeah. oh, I guess, the Spy Kids movies are going to have smell cards where you get 8 of them when you purchase a ticket. And when you go into the movie theater, on screen will say, like, 1, and then you rub card 1 and smell what's going on card 1.
Yeah, kids aren't smart enough for that.
So
They'll just be like, what is going on?
But when we saw the trailer
I
for
ruined it.
Spy Kids 4, were the kids terrible actors in the trailer, or was it just me?
Yes, and also I caught, I think, Spy Kids 2 or 3, like, on a cable network one day. Maybe, like, the first 5 minutes. And I had to change the channel.
Well,
I watched a little bit of it to see how bad it was, and it was horrible.
I read that Robert Rodriguez makes those for his kids. Like, his kids give him the ideas, and he makes a big picture with it.
That's nice to have that kind of disposable income.
Well, yeah.
To just blow on a movie that...
Well,
just for
how
your kids.
Robert Rodriguez gets money is he shoots everything on his studio. And that's why he can make movies like Predator, that came out, and it looks like it's $100 million movie. It costs like $30 million to make because it's all in Texas.
His own
thing. And I guess all his movies are independent. He shoots them, and then he gets the money from the studios to distribute them, kind of like Star Wars a long time ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he knows how to make money. I mean, I think Machete cost $10 million, ended up grossing, I don't know, $60 million.
That's fine. I praise that he can just do what he wants, movie-wise, but still, I'm just saying, Spy Kids sucks.
Yeah, it does. And,
for adults, I guess.
I wonder if it'll be popular. I mean, I know the other Spy Kids movies are pretty popular.
Yeah, it's something to entertain kids for a little while, and parents know that, and they just like, I want to get rid of my kid for a little while, so dump at the movie theater.
So we'll send them to that.
Yeah. And they get to smell stuff this time. Great.
Totally.
Do you think they'll charge extra money for the scratch and sniff ticket?
I don't think so.
Well, we charge for 3D. Why don't we charge for the ticket?
I read an interesting article in Entertainment Weekly about how sick of people are of 3D already. Because what you're asking people is to spend an extra $3 to $4 on a movie ticket, depending on where you're at. And they've already gotten such bad press because so many movies are converted now, they're not shot in 3D, that I was reading the article, and I guess people are really wary of spending all their money because, I mean, you can get movies that look like Clash of the Titans that look terrible in 3D, or when we saw Resident Evil Afterlife, which actually I think has some cool 3D effects in it, but sometimes the screen's so dark and it looks fuzzy, and so that's why people are pissed at it, and I think eventually they'll stop going to see them.
I'm trying to, what was the last 3D thing I saw, but...
The last one was Resident Evil for me.
I saw something, I think I saw Tron. Tron was cool in 3D, I thought. I know you haven't seen it.
Well, that movie I think was shot in 3D though, wasn't it?
Yeah. But it's like a dark movie anyway. So, and they're already projecting the bulbs. So it was kind of, I guess it got away with it because it was the atmosphere of the movie is low lit and dark anyway. But trying to imagine something. But that's my big beef too. Is now that I know that they purposely dim the bulbs to like spend less on replacing bulbs at the theater, saving on costs. It just makes me feel like I'm not getting my money's worth.
Yeah, I mean, there's
like, would this movie be better if it was at full brightness and like really popping out? But they're doing themselves a disservice by making 3D less appealing by not having that visual punch because it's dim. It's almost like, listening to stereo at home instead of 5.1 surround sound.
Yeah,
it's like taking out 3 of the speakers is what dimming the bulb is doing.
I agree, and
you're losing that punch.
I mean, I haven't even checked my group invite for Harry Potter. I mean, I might want to see that one in 3D just because it's the last Harry Potter. But if nobody else wants to go, then I'll probably just go by myself, like for a matinee.
But you haven't seen any other ones in 3D, so why start now?
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree too. But I'm guessing maybe the next movie I see in 3D is probably Spider-Man next year. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to think of another movie that's coming out that I have to see in 3D, and I don't think there is one. Because it's unnecessary.
Yeah, I've gotten over it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Avatar was all right. I mean, Avatar did a good job of getting you in the world, but the movie was not that good, so...
I forget where I heard it, but someone made a good point, like, if the cinematographer, the DP, and the director are doing their job, a 2D movie should give you the feeling of it being in 3D, just in 2D. So if they're composing their shots and creating a good depth in the composition of their frame, then it should
I said this last time, but
feel like
Sam
it's
Raimi
3D.
did that with the Spider-Man movies. You get the sense that you're swinging through the city with Spider-Man, and so if you have a talented filmmaker, yeah, you're right. You should be able to pull it off.
In this type of 3D, it's not really like anything, because I've seen the Terminator 2 Orlando
Yeah,
experience where stuff actually comes out of the screen at you.
yeah. We were
In
talking.
3D.
Me and Laura were talking about that when we went to our honeymoon in Disney World. They have like Mickey's Fill Her Magic, and literally this little bug comes out at you, or the pies are right in your face. It's actual 3D. It's not
This type of 3D, most of the time, it's just the background's pushed back
exactly.
into the screen.
Or you get shots like in the new Pirates movie where the sword is awkwardly pointed at the camera.
Yeah, Blackbeard's sword.
Yeah.
Like they're forcing it. Yeah, in all the 3D movies I've seen in this generation, Jackass 3 and Tron are like the only ones that have really stood out to me.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Avatar, so fuck it.
You're not really missing anything.
That's what I've heard.
So yeah, before we take a quick break, I'm going to throw out a challenge. Matt Spear has thrown down a challenge that he wants to come on the show.
Shit!
So he is more than welcome to. To get the technical aspects worked, we might have to record
Sorry,
it.
Matt, I totally forgot to check out the Skype connection. Maybe next week.
So we might not do it maybe live on the show than when we do the movie review, but we'll set up a time where we can get Matt on and we will talk. And Matt, the challenge is extended, and I don't think you remember our.
What's the challenge?
I don't know. He said he wants to SmackDown. I don't know what he wants to SmackDown about.
He wants you to settle the Deadpool argument, I guess.
I know. I'll tell him that he doesn't remember the Deadpool argument. He told me that Deadpool came out of the Marvel and DC crossover from the 80s, but Deadpool's first appearance was New Mutants number 4 in 1991. So he doesn't remember the argument properly, and he argued with me about it. I didn't argue that it was a ripoff. It's an obvious ripoff. I think that's actually the Deadpool character is supposed to be that way. He constantly breaks the fourth wall. It's a really bizarre comic if you've ever read him. He talks to you, like the reader. So he's like narrating the story to you, but he's also in the story. It's a really tricky way to write the character, and
It's like old detective movies where it's like, so there I was at the bar waiting for...
exactly. And then he has a really funny. I have this one with Spider-Man that's actually kind of funny because they both kind of have this sarcastic kind of humor. And Spider-Man asks who he's talking to, and he's talking to the reader of the comic because he doesn't make any sense. What an asshole.
You guys are a bunch of nerds.
Get!
Ryan's dog is trying to insert himself into the show. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are fighting about, so I'm going to say you're a bunch of nerds and go to commercial.
Yeah, so we'll try to hook that up, and Matt, you'll hear this before we have our SmackDown, so make sure you come prepared with notes, and we'll figure out a way to get the connection and so we can get a good sound.
This shit's going to be off the hook.
It's going to be awesome. Oh, shit. So yeah, enjoy this commercial from Nebulous Visions.
Dude, it might not be from Nebulous Visions. Maybe it's from Coca-Cola.
Yeah, I wish it's from Coca-Cola because
It's a
then we'd be
commercial
getting
from
paid.
anybody.
Because then we'd be getting paid.
God, you're pigeonholing my abilities, Ryan.
So what are we supposed to put? Are you going to like lift a commercial from
Stay
somewhere?
tuned for this commercial.
So what commercial would you put on there if it wasn't one of ours?
Just leave it open so I can just decide on the fly when I edit it.
All right.
Because I might be going through a file structure and be like, you say, hey, here's a commercial for Save Pikachu, and I find, oh, we could do ILMK in this spot, and I can't. God.
Anyway, stay tuned for this rockin' commercial.
Dude, they're coming this way.
Dude, I am so glad they're open today.
You'd have to be dead not to want to bring you and your friends on down to Buffalo Wild Wings for Wing Tuesdays and Boneless Thursdays. We have 14 different sauces to choose from, ranging from savory sweet barbecue to blazing. So grab a beer, order up some wings, and enjoy the big game until those zombies clear out.
That was delicious. You ready to go?
Oh, dude, I got it.
Dude, my wallet's in the car.
Buffalo Wild Wings, you have to be here.
Welcome back. Wasn't that an awesome trailer for Army of Darkness? When does that movie come out?
You son of a bitch. I don't have the trailer for Army of Darkness.
I totally just
That was
pigeonholed
a generic
you.
commercial.
I just pigeonholed you. Now you have to put the Army of Darkness trailer in.
Where am I going to find it?
Dude, that has to be online somewhere.
I can barely get the Cars trailer to work.
I'm just kidding.
Which, by the way...
Because I wanted you to actually have to find something specific because you gave me crap during our break.
Yeah.
So
Not happening.
that was just a joke. I really wish you could put the Army of Darkness trailer on here.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
When technology gets to that point.
When technology is able to do that.
I guess I could just take off the DVD.
Yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoy this trailer for the movie of the week, Cars 2.
How'd you like to come and see the world with me?
You mean it?
It is my absolute honor to introduce to you the first ever World Grand Prix.
Go McQueen! Oh, that's funny right there.
Lightning McQueen!
See you at the race.
Yes, you will see, Francesco. Like this. He is so getting beat tomorrow.
These Americans are clearly master spies.
Excuse me, ma'am.
This cannot be him.
Is he American?
Look out, ladies. Mater's fitting to get funky.
Extremely.
Then it's him. Finn McMissile, British intelligence.
Cole Mater, average intelligence.
McQueen and Francesco duel for that inside line as they head toward the first turn.
Lightning McQueen cannot win the race.
Instead of saying ka-chow, he's gonna go kaboom!
McQueen needs your help, Mater.
You know I'm just a tow truck.
It's his cover. Brilliant.
Am I missing something?
No one realizes they're being fooled because they're too busy laughing at the fool.
Is that how you see me?
That's how everyone sees you. Isn't that the idea?
Mater! I'm sticking by you the way you always stick by me!
Ready?
Is the Pope Mobile Catholic?
Non ci credo.
You gotta be kidding me.
You might think I'm crazy. Hang around with me.
It's the American spy! Hang on!
Now or never!
To have some
Gum.
Gatling gun. Request acknowledged.
that you're
Shoot, I didn't mean
Request
it.
acknowledged.
I didn't mean that kind of shoot.
Deploying chute.
Oh my gosh!
Make me a German truck.
Request acknowledged.
Check it out. I'm wearing Mater hoses. Make me a monster truck.
Request acknowledged.
What the?
Dude, that was awesome.
It was.
Anyways, we saw Cars 2 this week. Did you see the first Cars, Brad?
I did see the first Cars.
You know, I think I mentioned was it the first episode of Real Nerds that I finally got around? No, maybe it was the third episode. Maybe it was just last week when I got around. It was
Our
last
episodes
week.
are so memorable.
They are. No, it was last week, but when I finally got around to watching the first Cars, and I enjoyed it, and so I got a little more excited for Cars 2 because of all the Pixar movies that have come out, that one always, when they announced this one a long time ago, probably 2 or 3 years ago, I always thought, I said, really? They're going to make another Cars? It didn't seem that it was a kind of a movie that would warrant or even need a sequel. But the tone of the movies are way different. Obviously, the first Cars is Lightning McQueen being a hot shot racing guy, and he
gets put in his place.
Gets put in his place at Radiator Springs, and meets down to earth people, real people, not I don't know, fake people. I guess I don't even know what you call it. Everybody's kissing his butt. Nobody heard of him in the first one, but he does have one of my most favorite lines in any movie of all time. In the first Cars, he says, "I give people some emotions they don't even know they had." Ka-chow! And yeah, so that was cool.
Yeah, so I haven't seen it in a while. I think about the time of WALL-E, maybe, or Up, when Up came out. I hadn't seen Cars because I just thought it's this generic. My impression of it was this generic appeal to the NASCAR crowd type movie, cash in type thing. And then I don't know what sparked it, but I just remember, Pixar doesn't.
They don't make bad movies.
Yeah, even like their less regarded stuff is still good.
Yeah.
So why am I hating on this?
Exactly.
So I had to give it a shot, and the movie's got heart. So
yeah, it does. And so, which brings us to Cars 2, which is basically it takes place 4 years after the first one.
4 years.
Yeah.
Did they say that? I didn't.
Well, he won.
Obviously, after
he won 4 Piston Cups. So I'm guessing.
Yearly? Okay.
So I'm guessing it was every year he won one, and then they had. So it takes place, and he's coming back to Radiator Springs to wind down, but
take a vacation.
To take a vacation, instead of winding down and having a vacation and relaxing, he is issued a challenge by Francisco,
an Italian Formula 1 car,
by an Italian Grand Prix Formula 1 car, not Grand Prix, it's Formula 1 car. And so that sets the stage for what he's doing, and he's going on an adventure around the world. And I actually thought they had a really sweet moment in the beginning of the movie where they're remembering Paul Newman's character
nice.
in that, and as the Hornet.
I forget, did Doc Hornet die or
no
run down?
No, and remember at the end of Cars, his Lightning McQueen racing Mater.
That's right.
And he kind of says, "Oh yeah," and I think Cars was his last movie, wasn't it?
I think so.
Which is sad. He was always a good actor. He kind of slowed down towards the end. I think he did.
He's pretty sweet in Road to Perdition.
Yeah, I think he did Road to Perdition and Cars, and that was his last 2 movies. I don't remember him anything else. Do you? Well, obviously he was like in his 80s, so he probably.
There might have been some other like adult dramatic stuff, maybe straight to video. I don't know, but
yeah, that was a nice little moment at the beginning. I thought
honoring him,
and
so this movie's getting surprisingly, even though Pixar is known for consistently putting out quality work. I've been reading that there's been a lot of negative reviews from critics so far.
Yeah.
And I believe they're critics because the movie was released today, so how could it get a mass audience rating before then? But it's been getting really low.
Yeah, it's at 33% on the tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes.
But now that you've seen the movie, what's your impression of Cars 2?
I actually thought it was kind of fun. I don't think it was a bad movie by any means.
Yeah.
I thought tonally it was way different. It's like a car chase spy movie.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun.
Me too. And visually, fucking spectacular. I mean, you can say that about any Pixar movie, but I mean, there's some shots in that I swear were just photographs.
Between the editing and it was visually interesting. Like even not that the script made me bored, which it didn't, but just looking at it, like I was never like my eyes didn't want to leave the screen at any moment. Like I was constantly fixated on just the choreography of like a lot of the stunts and actions of the cars, and
I
it
thought
was
that
constantly
too.
moving. Like there was barely a dull.
To get the cars to be like people, I think is an amazing feat too, because they feel like real characters, and how they get them to move in the world, and how everybody goes to the bathroom, or just do little things like walking into buildings, and how they are able to pull it off. I think is an amazing feat.
Yeah, it's really clever.
It is
what they do in the movie.
It is, and I thought it's not like the normal Pixar movies. I mean, this movie didn't have too much heart in it, but it was still a fun movie. But it had a good message to it.
Like the heart of it was Lightning McQueen and Mater, like their friendship.
Mater
being put at odds because Lightning McQueen still like has this competitive edge to
him. I agree.
And Mater's just looking to have fun. And Mater actually has a character arc where he goes from like just being this clumsy idiot to, self-realization that he is an idiot. And so he actually, attempts to overcome something that's holding him back. Like he has a change, and Lightning McQueen's, I would argue that this isn't even like Lightning McQueen's movie. It's Mater's movie.
Oh, no, not at all.
Because Lightning McQueen's actually the buddy of the movie, because Mater's actually going through the whole spy thing. And I thought it was really cute how Mater's going through all this stuff, and it's set up like no one believes him because it's so far-fetched what he's going through. So I kind of lost my train of thought.
No, I don't know. I guess it doesn't have as much heart as like Up and Wall-E and
like those are really like sentimental.
Yeah, I mean it's
types of heart, and this one's just kind of like it's a little. It's not that much of a different story, like friends arguing and like a buddy accidentally sabotages one. Like we've seen it before, but
But it was cool they did shift the focus. You're right. I mean, the first one, it was about McQueen and his redemption to be a better person. And this one, it's, Mater's always a good guy. It's just you're right, his story's so far-fetched that no one's going to believe him. And
it's like having a jackass walk into a theater and start talking and checking his cell phone. And then by the end of the movie, him realizing that his actions like that are counterproductive to everyone's well-being.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't know why people are hating on this movie, because I thought it was really fun. Yeah. And
it's better than most kids' films. It's,
way better.
As an adult, it's still entertaining.
Yeah, and it
doesn't pander to like the lowest common denominator.
There's some shots in that, or they're like straight out of an action movie, and visually spectacular.
I thought as a spy movie, it was better than Quantum of Solace.
Well, yeah. But you know what I mean? The explosions in the water, I thought were visually amazing. Even the opening scene where you're in the rolling ocean, I mean, that water looked real. The artists at Pixar are amazing people.
Yeah, there's like parts when like objects in the frame get so close up to the lens that they do look like a model was created on the set and they're animating it.
Exactly. And they do
blew me away.
Yeah, I know, it's just a cool movie.
And the cuts and like the way certain things are framed, it just holds your attention so well.
I agree. And do you have a favorite moment in the movie?
I got to start taking notes because what is about my memory, but lately when I'm done with the movie, a lot of I can't focus on one thing. I keep remembering the overall arc, like the whole package together, and so I got to start writing down notes. But as I was going, there were a couple things where I was like, well, why does that make sense? Because there's a part where the villain car has a detonator like in this building that's watching over the racetrack or whatever, but like in the next couple scenes we suddenly find out that the bomb is voice activated. So I was like, why did he need the stamp detonator?
Well, because it's only recognizable by one voice. So
but what's the little button for?
Because so that one person who's the bad guy doesn't have to be around when the bomb goes off.
Right, but so he has to press the button to make it go off. And he didn't get a chance to do it because eventually Mater was out of range when he wanted to press it. Mm-hmm. So why was he frustrated when all he had to do was like have that guy say detonate? Yeah,
because
that can work anywhere apparently.
Well, yeah, it can, but then he'd reveal who he is.
Would he? Like if because at that point Mater hasn't realized who the villain is, so he could go anywhere and that guy can just say it, and it's only when they confront each other that he gets in trouble for saying it.
But yeah, well, if he said detonate when he's nearby, then he'd kill himself.
Right, but I'm saying he could say it anywhere at any time, according to how it was set up.
Yeah, but how would it pick it up? I mean, I guess like radio wise. I mean, I
didn't really set up that he had to be in the vicinity.
Well, that'd be my guess, is that it had to have some sort of. He'd have to be near it so it could recognize the voice.
And also, when did that guy activate it? When the race started?
I don't know.
I don't know when the supervillain car set it to activate it. It said, getting ready to arm, and then switched over to numbers. And
that's because the wrong person said it. Because they said deactivate, and it wasn't the person. The voice wasn't recognized, so then it switched to a counter instead of a remote.
But if only the supervillain car could activate it, how did that secondary villain car activate it?
No, because he said deactivate, so the bomb didn't recognize the voice, so instead of it being remote, then it went to a timer.
Okay.
Does that not make sense?
No, it doesn't.
Does that make sense to you, honey? She's worthless. So
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Anyways, moving
along.
Watch
the movie. You can figure it out for yourself.
Figure it out for yourself.
Just a little lost there, and then the whole.
I said your favorite scene, not picking apart what you didn't like about the movie, Brad. Do you even listen to what I say to you?
I told you that I couldn't remember anything.
Anyways, go ahead.
I liked a lot of it, and the only thing I can specifically remember thinking
is the stuff you hate.
The stuff that I was confused about.
Okay.
Also about why that supervillain car was doing the oil thing, his double cross. I I don't want to.
Yeah,
should we go into spoiler territory?
I'd explain it, but I want people, see the movie and then, decide. Decide for yourself. One of my favorite parts of the movie is the American spy. It's voiced by Bruce Campbell.
That's right.
Which I didn't even know he was in the movie. I didn't when I read
about it. I forgot to tell you.
I read the cast. I didn't see he was in the cast. And he
in the credits?
Yeah, I mean not in the credits at the movie. I mean online when I was reading about it. But yeah, he makes an appearance. The man, the myth, the legend, the chin. And it's cool. His
car should have like a big grill.
It would have been awesome. But I like that Bruce Campbell is now kind of, because he's been on Burn Notice, that he's started to get more recognized into just like fanboys like me who know him from Evil Dead. And
could this be what propels him beyond B-movie actor status?
I don't know. I read his autobiography and he said he never wants to be anything else because well,
maybe he's not trying, but inadvertently.
Not
trying is what propels
I guess, I was reading in his book, he said the reason he likes to do B-movies is because then people don't expect too much from him. I mean, obviously in more words, but he can make the movies he wants to do and he can have fun doing it. And I mean, he does, he goes around, when he signed his book, he stayed around for the screening of his movie in Denver when I saw him.
The man with the screaming brain.
Yeah, the man with the... And so, that's cool. And I think that's why, too, I have a tendency to like actors, musicians that speak to everyday people. And to me, he doesn't... When I met him and he signed my book, that Bruce Campbell seemed like how he always would be. He's wearing the Hawaiian shirt, and he's always really nice, and he doesn't seem like he's a prick, I guess. And so it's cool that he's finally getting recognized a little more. And because I think Burn Notice is on like its 6th season or something.
Did you watch the Sam Axe movie?
No. I've never seen an episode of Burn Notice.
I saw a Saturday Night Live skit about like, who watches Burn Notice? It's called like the most popular show on USA, but no one ever talks about it. That's funny.
But I always said that if I found the DVDs for sale, I would try. I mean, I should just watch it because I like Bruce Campbell, but he's not the main person in the show, so I don't know if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, there's that TV movie, The Fall of Sam Axe. I think that's all about him. So.
Yeah, and I guess it's a prequel, so I could probably watch that and be okay. So yeah, so that was one of my favorite moments. Was Bruce Campbell was in it. A lot of people knocked it for being a Larry the Cable Guy movie.
Yeah,
I didn't feel like that. I swore I read that it said
Larry the Cable Guy movies are way worse.
Yeah, he said "Get Her Done" in it. And I never heard him say that. Did you hear him say that in the movie?
I don't think he did, yeah.
And then, I mean, he did say that's funny there. But I'm pretty sure his bit is, I don't care who you are, that's funny. I'm pretty sure that's his bit. I don't know. I've seen him on the Redneck comedy tour one time. I've never watched anything else with him. But,
wow.
Yuck, Stuart.
That is strong.
Maybe my wife should walk him so he can poop. Yeah. Anyway,
let's not get sidetracked.
I think it's funny when they show the credits and it says Lightning McQueen, Owen Wilson, Mater, Larry the Cable Guy, Sally, Bonnie Hunt. You're like, Larry the Cable Guy really doesn't fit into that.
He has a real name. That's just his stage name.
I know.
That's actually another thing I liked about the movies. Like I was trying to pinpoint who was voiced. Cause it's like, I think this is Michael Caine. Doing the spy car, and like, yeah, it's Michael Caine, and then who else?
Yeah, Emily Mortimer I picked up right away.
I didn't get. Who else? I was trying to figure out like the villain cars. Eddie Izzard.
Yeah, and John Turturro was the Italian car.
Yeah. So that was fun.
You know what I love about those movies too is all the cliches in there, and they're able to get away with them, like the Italian cars talking, the French cars, and.
Actually, another thing I liked about it is picking out the subtle nods to other Pixar movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Gustave's restaurant was in France.
Yep, and the Incredimobiles was the marquee on the movie theater.
Right. Incredible.
But if in the first Cars, I don't know if you remember, at the end, the semi is watching movies at the drive-in, and they're all the Pixar movies, and John Ratzenberg is doing the voice of the semi-truck, and he's doing all the voices on the fake Pixar movies. And like, this guy just keeps on using the same... This studio's lazy. They keep on using the same voice actor, and that's pretty funny.
Self-referential jokes.
Yeah, that's from the first Cars, but it was funny seeing it in the next one, too, yeah.
And, just, like, I thought a lot of the... Just how they made the cars
they give him character, yeah.
Like how, things that they don't focus on, but yeah, how they make the cars seem human. Like they have human attributes, like the way they interact with things. I just thought there's a lot of clever stuff in there, and there's so much of it, and it goes by so fast in this movie. Like I said, it doesn't take a breather. It's just constantly moving.
I love too when
so I can't remember
Mater's in Tokyo and he goes up to the sushi bar and he thinks that wasabi is pistachio ice cream, and so the sushi chef is giving him more and more wasabi, and when he gives him a whole plate full, he says "my condolences," and it's funny.
The subtitles. Yeah, there's. It's interesting that like that's a big word and it's a subtitle, so kids who are 4 or 5 years old are definitely not either paying attention to that line or understanding what that word even means. So it's like definitely like a fun adult joke to add to this movie.
Yeah, and what's amazing about Pixar movies is actually that's the first Pixar movie where I've seen that many kids at it. I mean, like little kids. Obviously, I think because the Cars brand appeals to little children, but they were all laughing and having fun. And
one kid was having way too much fun.
Yeah, it's all right though. Like stuff like that. Yes, stuff like that doesn't bother me in movies. I don't.
It's when you're 30 years old and you should know better.
Yeah, exactly. When you're 30 years old and you pick up the phone and you answer it in the movie theater, or you're talking, like that's irrelevant. See, I don't care if I'm watching a movie when we went and saw Red State and people were cheering when people were getting killed. Like, I don't mind that stuff. What I mind is
that's an expected reaction.
Yeah, I can meet you there at 11. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm not paying attention to the movie anymore.
I don't mind when we went and saw The Dark Knight and the Batman logo comes on screen. I don't mind people clapping and cheering because that's what I feel that way. I mean, I don't do it, but I feel that way when I see Batman, Spider-Man, or anything.
That's a reaction to the movie.
Yeah.
Answering your phone is you're being selfish and you're doing your own personal thing and just removing yourself from the experience of the movie.
I agree. But yeah, so
that's why they're different.
So children cheering and laughing at a movie doesn't bother me at all. Because, I'm sure if I was a little kid and I liked Lightning McQueen and he went ka-chow, I'd probably go, yay, Lightning McQueen! Because it's cool. That's what kids identify with. They identify with the zaniness and the slapstick stuff. Where adults, and that's why Pixar movies I think are so successful, is we laugh at my condolences because every adult's tried wasabi and you're crazy if you have more than just a little bit of it. And so that stuff I think is the brilliance of that studio and what they're able to do better than, let's say, the Shrek movies where it's just pop culture references, boom 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 boom, where Pixar does it way more subtly. And
speaking of DreamWorks, how about that Puss in Boots trailer?
I know. So a Puss in Boots trailer has a sodomy gag in the trailer?
Hangover gets their asses beat for having a monkey sucking on a bottle, but
Puss in Boots can say
at getting raped in prison.
Yeah, so I'll set it up in the Puss in Boots trailer. He's riding with Humpty Dumpty, and they say something about going to jail, and Humpty Dumpty says, "Yeah, nothing in jail is not over easy," or something like that.
You know what they do to eggs in prison? Well, let me tell you, it's not something over easy.
Yeah, it's the blatant just sodomy joke.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable. And I don't know, I mean, I think animated-wise that movie looks interesting, but I'll never see it. Well, maybe. My wife loves cats, so...
Well, you're going to see it.
I'll probably have to see it.
I just wonder if they're going to do, like, the classic story, or they're going to go, just take the zaniness of that, like, the Shrek version of Puss in Boots, and just do his own thing.
Have you seen a Shrek? I haven't seen a Shrek since Shrek 2.
Nope, me neither.
Because I thought the first one was kind of clever, and I enjoyed it. And the second one, I'm like, oh, this is fucking garbage.
I actually thought the first one wasn't as clever as I thought it could be, and then I thought 2 actually...
Maybe I'm remembering them differently.
Well, we could just have different opinions.
Yeah, that or... I mean, we could, but I don't remember the movies to save my life.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched them since I saw them.
So you could... 2 could be better than 1? I don't remember. I do know that 2 outgrows Spider-Man 2, and I was really mad about that.
That was a rough year.
Yeah.
A rough summer, I guess. Yeah, we didn't talk about the Toy Story
short. Yeah, the Toy Story short in the front was really cute. It was again,
it wasn't like the heart.
No,
it was the artsy Pixar short.
No, but it was really fun. Like, it's how you want to see the characters. To me, it's how I want to see the characters. And I love how they always... adults get this joke that they always kind of make that Ken might be gay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he always does like the woman thing, and when he kisses Barbie, he lifts his leg up, and
he's definitely what is it? Effeminate.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was cute, you know, and
I liked when they get out of the backpack and like, where do you want to take these bags? And like, oh, they're all mine or something.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't really. It's not an obvious joke, but it's like all the little toy suitcases are blue, and
they have K's on them.
Ken, yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny.
And Barbie has like no luggage.
Yeah, and it's, you know, I love hearing Tom Hanks again as Woody. Woody's one of my most favorite movie characters of all time.
Can you imagine, like, I don't know, 20, 30 years from now when maybe he's not around voicing those characters, but obviously those characters are too popular for Disney to just retire.
Yeah.
I mean, even 20 or 30 years
from now.
It's
probably going to be a lot like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess they found someone else to do those voices.
Walt did Mickey Mouse, and then another guy did it, and then he unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago, and now they have another guy.
Also, Mickey Mouse hasn't had a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, I guess so, true.
Like, in the early years, he's obviously silent. And then when they did have a voice to him, he's mostly saying one or two things in, like, a short, you know.
Yeah, I guess now on his TV shows, because he does that Mickey Mouse Clubhouse for little kids, he talks a lot more.
Does he?
But yeah, you know, it's because, I mean, that's a character now that'll live forever. And, I mean, it's just Tom Hanks' voice, so I don't think anyone's ever going to be able to do Tom Hanks again. So, yeah, I mean, it's a really...
Tim Allen, there's a certain thing about their delivery.
Yeah, that you could never replicate, you know,
it'll be tough.
It'll be tough. And you can get away with it with someone like Slinky Dog, because he's not such a central character to it. I mean, I love Jim... Yeah, I love Jim Varney, but you know, you can replace him with another guy who sounds gruff. And, you know, oh, it's Slinky Dog. You know, it sounds a little different, but yeah, you're really losing who those people are. But, you know, I don't have to worry about that right now because they're still around. And I read an interesting article with John Lasseter about making... Do you know Toy Story 2 only took 9 months to make? I read that today, and they...
Oh, wait, yeah, because they...
It was going to be a directed DVD.
Yeah.
And then they decided, no, we want it for theatrical. And he said in this interview that basically any idea they storyboarded, they just put it in the movie. And that's amazing, too, because I think a lot of people regard that as the best Toy Story. Debatable. I think Toy Story 3 might be the best one, but...
Yeah, they're all pretty good.
Well, I mean, they're all amazing, but yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting because you think of the animation process. I mean...
Well, the first one, they
3 to 4 years
had this like snarky, kind of mean-spirited movie.
Mm-hmm.
They scrapped the entire thing.
Yeah, I saw that.
And rushed that out, and then the second one, I forgot. Yeah, we're just going to do straight to DVD, and they're like, we want theatrical, so yet another rushed Toy Story movie.
Yeah, but the Hawaiian Vacation thing was cute, and it was like a simple premise, and
it's just cool to see them having fun.
Yeah, and you know the Rex bit was really cute.
What?
Rex when he wanted bigger arms on the the computer game. What was his name in it? Rexing Ball or something?
Yeah, Rexing Ball. Yeah.
And that guy has a really distinct voice too.
Well, Wallace Shawn.
Yeah. He's awesome in The Princess Bride.
Classic. What did you think of the Winnie the Pooh trailer?
I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
You know, I actually think obviously Winnie gets high on honey or something, and they're showing a little bit of the...
That's propaganda. They're
showing a little bit of his trip, and I thought, like, animated-wise, it's beautiful. And
for a 2D, it's really gutsy to do a 2D movie.
Yeah. I mean, their last one, Princess and the Frog, I thought was a really great movie. And I miss that animation style. I mean, don't get me... You can't touch Pixar, how great they look, but I really miss those kind of movies.
The classic Disney animation.
And it's cool to see them doing that again.
The cool thing I spotted in the trailer is that they're actually... maybe I have forgotten, since I haven't seen anything Winnie the Pooh in years, but they're actually playing with the book itself, with like the letters and the typography.
You know, I think
they
do that in the movies. I think the book's open, correct? And they show it going. And when we were at Disney World, the Winnie the Pooh ride had that, like...
They mess with the letters and the panels.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's... And I always love the character of Winnie the Pooh because his voice sounds like a grandpa's voice to me. And it's really comforting. And he's just, you know, just an ornery little bear who just wants honey. And it's cute.
I'm going to interject here. I'm really happy with the Winnie the Pooh movie because they have the TV show that's puppets, and they sing and they dance, and it's not really Winnie the Pooh at all. Like, it's not Winnie the Pooh in any form. Now they're doing a movie that's like more close to the original stylings of the book, with the original stories of the book. I'm excited about it.
Okay. Hopefully they mics pick that up, or you're just gonna hear.
Either way.
I think Stuart might be drowning it out with his lapping.
That's all right.
Wait, so they have a puppet Winnie the Pooh show?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
It's on Disney. It's like in their kids' playhouse. It's like their new Winnie the Pooh show is like puppets. And I think they do the same stories as the book originally, but it doesn't. I don't know. To me, like they don't sing. Winnie the Pooh doesn't sing really.
Right.
I do know that the guy who does the voice of Tigger and Winnie the Pooh is the same person.
Really?
Yeah.
I
I saw that.
Come on, Stuart. God.
I saw that. I got the Jungle Book too, which I've never seen. I picked it up when the Jungle Book was released on DVD for its 40th anniversary because at Best Buy, if you bought the Jungle Book and Jungle Book 2, it was like $30 opposed to, I don't know, $45 or whatever it'd be for them separately. So I'm like, fuck it, who cares? It cost me $9 to get the Jungle Book 2. And it was all right. It was, kind of cute. And I found out the guy who does the snake in it is Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. And so, yeah, it's kind of funny. And he was... Because if you really listen to the snake in the Jungle Book, he does sound like Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is that also the snake in Robin Hood?
Yeah, the same guy. Yeah. That's why some people don't like Robin Hood as much as the Jungle Book, because it's basically recasting the Jungle Book characters in Robin Hood. And I think Robin Hood, the cartoon's actually pretty fun.
Have you ever seen online, there's like a YouTube video of... someone took these like musical sequences from classic Disney movies from like the 70s and early 80s, and they just have like when the characters are singing and dancing, they're using the same animation moves for the characters. You should look it up. It's crazy, but I understand why it's done. But it's just when you watch them separately, you don't see it. But when you play those scenes back to back, it's exactly the same, shot for shot. Like they just took the cells, changed the characters' faces a little bit, and like the way they dance, like the little steps they make, is exactly the same. It's obviously they just to save on the budget, it was just like, here, let's take these cells we created, change them a little bit, and then re-record them. And
that was right around the time Walt Disney died, and I know for a fact like a lot of the studio didn't produce their best work after he died. Like a lot of people like the Black Cauldron. I don't think it's very good. And
that's all right. That's something they should remake, is that Horned King trilogy or whatever.
Yeah,
is kind of like a Lord of the Rings style thing, or definitely not Narnia style. But I think that's a good property to. Sorry, I totally derailed you.
No, it's okay. I mean, I just know...
I was really passionate about the Black Cauldron being made into a live action.
Are you really?
I just want to see what they'd make Gurgi look like. Because I always thought he felt a little bit like our Circus Domain characters.
I guess,
when I read it, that's the character I generate in my head.
I guess, yeah. So anyways, Cars 2, you should probably go see it. We went way off topic for Cars 2, but that's all right. We're camping in the same house.
Speaking of our characters, when I watch Mater on screen, I can't help but think of Idiot Chittix. the antics he gets into, and he has like this cute, like...
You describe Idiot Chittix as cute?
Sometimes. Like, obviously Mater doesn't make a ton of fecal jokes. But I mean, when he's... Because sometimes our character just kind of gets into like stupid antics, and he's, he's based on Adam, so he's crazy, but he's still got like a heart to him.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and he's got the Mater's got like the messed up teeth, and like, Icy does too, and they have the same personality. It's like just watching on screen, I can't help but like put my mind in. It's like seeing our own character doing those similar things.
I concur.
But you're completely not interested in watching it at all. Get back to movies.
There's that better. For those listening at home, I just did an amazing rendition of...
I know you're acting.
Looking at Brad and...
All. So yeah,
batting
Cars
mash.
2.
I was thinking we should have like a thing at the end of when we, review a movie, if we should see it or not. Should we say see it or not see it, or I don't know.
Well, there's also the stipulation of like some movies I would see, but just not in the theater.
Yeah, so you could say, see it, skip it, rent it. Wait, is that what they do on G4?
Yeah. It's tough because I think everyone's done scales. Like, you've got the 10 scale. What else? Yeah, it's thumbs up, thumbs down.
Which is
we got to
bad,
find our
by
own
the
thing.
way. We do. But anyways, until I can think of something, you should probably go see Cars 2, because it's fun.
Ryan votes for Cars. I concur. I say DVD or theater, see it. Maybe not 3D. I don't know. I guess CGI movies are usually the best in 3D. So it might be all right.
Yeah,
nothing really flies out of the screen.
But I'm guessing the chase scenes will probably look pretty cool in 3D, and when he's like zooming up the side of the oil rig, probably looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's probably not necessary to be my guess.
Yeah,
like all 3D, we've already been over that, but it's not really necessary.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's worth a watch.
Me too. So, thank you. The next week we are seeing. Are we seeing Transformers? It is Transformers next week.
And Larry Crown.
If I have time, because I'm going to Tennessee, but I will see.
When are you getting back?
I get back that following Tuesday. So on Friday night, we have to go see the movie and record Transformers.
Trying to build a calendar in my head. So Transformers comes out on the 29th.
Yeah, 28th.
I'm glad we're wasting people's time talking about this.
Yeah. Anyways, we're seeing Transformers. We'll see Transformers for sure because our friend James likes Transformers movies.
Will he even be back? Because we haven't.
He should be back. Hopefully,
he will be back by then. Okay.
So next week is Transformers.
We miss you, James.
We miss you, buddy. We miss your wonderful insight.
And hopefully you'll be able to find the time to see Green Lantern and Cars 2 and tell us your opinion
of what we've talked about
the past 2 weeks.
So yeah, next week Transformers. Possibly Larry Crown as well. You can contact me at various locations. One is rodstew2@yahoo.com. That is my email account. You should really download Real Nerds on iTunes for free. You can also visit one of our amazing websites, nebulousvisions.com, sphyrexisdomain.com. And I'm also on another podcast. People might not know this, but there's already, how many? 64?
Mm-hmm.
64 episodes of Nebcast, which you can also download for free on iTunes. So you should really pick those up because we also have a lot of movie stuff on that. You can hear real-time movie reviews of stuff like Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Movie commentary. Wacky commentary. Which, you know what, we'll probably do on one of these episodes when there's not a movie we want to see.
Which I think is coming up soon because I forget, but I was looking through the release calendar and in August, there's going to be some dead weeks.
There probably will be. So, pay attention to our real-time reviews of movies coming up. But yeah, until then, I'm Ryan. Oh, you know what? I forgot something that we've just done. You can also read our awesome blog on Tumblr.
Oh, yeah, we didn't tell them.
And, we are starting a new thing. We didn't have it happen this week, but if you are an asshole in a movie, we will be taking your picture and uploading it onto Tumblr and labeling you Asshole of the Week. And so be ready for that. People who listen to this and you decide you're going to talk in movie theaters, please do not, because you will be forever on the interwebs as an asshole.
So glad you liked my idea.
Yeah, I stole that from Brad. I said we, Brad. Everything we do is we.
From now on, if you're an asshole at the movie theater, we are going to take your picture and we're going to put it on Tumblr.
Yeah, but also
realnerds.tumblr.com.
Yeah, realnerds.tumblr. That's realnerds.podcast.com.
Is it?
Yeah, I put podcast in there.
Okay, it's either realnerds.tumblr, Tumblr, TUMBLR, no E.com, or realnerds.podcast.tumblr.com.
Yep.
So check that out. Obviously,
yeah. And it won't just be
our first week trying it. We just have a bunch of kids, and we can't really call them assholes.
Yeah.
So.
And also, it won't just be asshole of the week. We'll also place random movie things on there. And
yeah, you might put some of your DVD movie, your own text reviews on there.
Yep, we'll see how it goes.
But
but until next week, I'm Ryan.
I'm Brad.
You know what, Brad? You want to do it opposite? Actually, you can sign it off. So you go
why
first.
Am I doing it last?
Yeah, so go.
You should wrap it up. God, that's so much pressure. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. He never knows what
real
to say.
nerds. For Real Nerds, this is special guest Brad.
We'll see if he's back next week. And I'm the one that
Oh,
matters
man.
the most.
I'm
the,
fired.
The host with the most, Ryan. What?
Beetlejuice reference? You hate Beetlejuice.
I like when Beetlejuice is on screen. Other than that, I could live without Gina Davis's face.
Ooh.